What's up, everybody? It's your boy Evan Ness. I'm over here coming at you from San Antonio on this Thursday morning. Let me tell you, my webcam, I have to reset it every time, and it's really annoying. Okay, not really annoying. It is slightly annoying because I press save, and you imagine, because I switch it because it's all zoomed out like I used to have it, and I realize I can actually zoom it in and move the camera around a little bit. And guess what? Guess what, guys? I put the settings in, I do it, and the next time I just have to do it again. I press save. So Logitech. I press save, Logitech. Logitech. I press save. How you guys doing today? My name's Evan Simon. Today we're going to talk about a couple gaming news related stories today. Woke up this morning because my brother texted me. I was very upset because he texted me like 7:30. I'm like, why would you text me that early? Whatever. And I couldn't go back to sleep, so I stayed up and I watched a little bit of the Persona concert that they're doing. If those who don't know, Persona 5, Persona in general, huge series in Japan. My favorite video game, by the way. And it's very known for its music, known for some of the best music in video game history. And every year in Japan they have like a little celebration, a concert, a little festival. It's really cool, super Japanese. Persona's a big deal in Japan. And I don't know who's calling. I think that must be outside because it wasn't my phone. Someone outside the door is calling the person. I swear I need to get editing software soon. There's no there's a reason why these don't get any views. I'm just gonna keep on going because this is fun, and once I get editing software, I'll be able to edit that out. But that isn't here today. Maybe a little bit more on that later. Okay, so Persona 5 is having a big concert, and and they announced what Persona 5S is. Yesterday, of course, we talked about Persona 5R, which is Persona 5 Royal, which is a upgraded version of Persona 5. Super excited about that game. We know that Persona S was coming. A lot of people, I think, thought S was like a Switch port of something. And, Nintendo never said that. They never had, like, any real indication. The only real hint was, like, Joker was in Smash, and that, it makes sense to put Persona on a portable system because they've done that before with the PSP, with Persona 3 and putting Persona 4 Golden on the PlayStation Vita. And since PlayStation doesn't have any, like, big portable systems now, it makes sense to want to put that on a Nintendo device, the Switch. So we didn't get that. What we got was Persona 5... Scrambled. What was it? The Phantom something. I forgot. I don't know. Let me tell you. It is a Dynasty Warriors game, which very similar to how that studio has made Hyrule Warriors and Fire Emblem Warriors. These spin-offs taking, what they're known for, that genre, which is called Mori games. I don't know. Taking that genre of games and applying it to a different franchise that they did. Hold on. Sorry. Email. Like I said, fantastic show, everyone. Fantastic show, everyone. And so, yeah, Persona 5 Scrambled. It's a Dynasty Warriors game. For those who don't know who that is, you play as your main character, and you fight endless enemies. And I never played these games before, to be honest. The idea of fighting hordes of constant enemies is never something that I really enjoyed. I actually enjoy games that I don't have to fight anything. So I never really cared much for the series. It looks cool. I will give it that. And it looks like it's having an original story. They did tease a new character who's different. So I actually, if this thing has like a prominent story actually to it, and it's not just attacking these creatures, then I'll probably get the game, because I do want to see how the story kind of grows. See if we get like a first true quote unquote sequel to Persona 5 that isn't like Q2 or something. So yeah, I'll be totally dope to see the story get continued. And if it's in this game, then I'll manage with the gameplay myself. It's gonna be on Switch, PS4, and Switch since I have Persona 5 on PlayStation, and I have Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight on PlayStation. I'm probably just going to keep it with PlayStation, but for those who want it on Switch, well, there you go. We do have a Persona 5 game coming to Switch. No release date, though, because, yesterday, they said Persona 5R is coming out in Japan, like in October, and they did say, it is coming out in the West in 2020. They didn't have any release date for Japan, and of course this, so it's going to be a while. I don't think we're going to see this game until 2021, maybe sometime. Like, I don't think the West will see it until 2021. It'll be late 2020 at the earliest. But you know what? I love Persona. New waifu at the end. Whatever. Not my type of game, but you know what? I want to give it a shot because I do want to support these games. I don't want to get Q2 because I don't own a Nintendo DS, and also that game isn't dubbed, which is a big thing too. If I know for probably a fact that they're gonna dub Persona 5, or and they dubbed the dancing game, which is great. They didn't they didn't dub the Q2. I'm imagining because they dubbed Q, the original game, and no one played it, and probably realized it was more cost effective not to go with that, which is a shame. I wasn't playing Persona games back then, so don't at me. But yeah. That's a big issue. But I am planning on taking this game out. Not a big fan of Dynasty Warriors game, but you know what? Let's just see. Like I said, new storyline. Whatever. I'm excited to see more information on that. I don't think we're going to get it soon, but hopefully they'll dub it. And yeah. So that's that for that story. The second story I want to talk about, and I probably won't talk much about this because I don't have a lot of knowledge, but Days Gone got the review embargo was lifted, and people seem to think it's pretty mediocre. A lot of 5s, a lot of 6s. I'll tell you what, I'm happy I didn't get that game. And I know that when we talk about games, it is important to form your own opinion on it. Right now, I can't do that. Because if it wasn't for the fact that I'm between jobs right now, maybe more on that later, I would probably buy this game, but I decided not to because I was like, I'm not going to probably, I don't want to spend the money. Games are expensive, I don't want to spend money without an income, so trying to be smart about that, trying to only get essentials right now. And so, I'm probably going to pass up on this game. And, I was rooting for this game. I really was. Because it was announced a few years ago, and everyone automatically started shitting on it for whatever reason. And it didn't even make any sense why to me. The game looked cool. It looked like Sons of Anarchy, Make the Walking Dead. It looked like a very cool premise of hordes of freakers, being this giant army, there's one man against this giant army of really fast zombies or freakers, what they're calling it. That was all cool things, right? Excuse me. And the storylines look cool. A lot of stuff I see it previewed well. And it's surprising to see the game come out. Technical issues. A lot of people say it's too long, very monotonous, doing the same things over and over again is what I've been reading, and that's disappointing. And, it's very rare when I think we see a Sony first-party game not make at least something in the 8s. And, review scores, they're just review scores. They don't really mean anything, okay? So I'm not trying to put too much on a review score, but I do think if enough people say, hey, this game isn't fun, there's way better games out there, it's not that great. Because it's not the thing, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Because Horizon Zero Dawn, I don't think reinvented the wheel, right? That game, just borrowed from so many different games, but they just did it so well, and they put it in a unique setting. Because I guess the robots in that game was unique. But, I'd say the Freakers in this one are kind of unique, because we very rarely get zombies like that in video games, at least from my knowledge. But the thing with Horizon Zero Dawn is they were able to say, okay, we're taking this game, and it is just borrows from a ton. Like, I think a lot of people call it open world the game, but they did it to an amazing level, right? Like, they perfected that system a lot of ways. And it looks like, Days Gone is very similar, because it is open world, the video game, but they weren't able to really nail what makes those types of games special, right? Which is sad, and it's disappointing. Sony. I know Sony Bend, the studio behind the game, worked really hard on it. They really believed in it. I feel they kind of got the short end of the shaft in a lot of ways. I'm hoping, because a lot of times when people make video games, like they might have known that, hey, this game isn't ready, but they had to ship, and you have to ship, and now it got delayed once, and I'm pretty sure they couldn't delay it a second time, and it's really sad when that happens. And Sony, as a studio, has such a big pedigree and respect, right? Because this is the same studio that brought us The Last of Us and God of War. Publisher, not studio. Sony as a publisher has so much respect, and they're known to make quality exclusives. And like I said, it's very rare when one of these games don't show up as well as it did. So I don't know, man. It's unfortunate when this stuff happens, and I hope Sony Bend will be able to land on their feet, because I know Sony kind of stopped, but Sony has been laying off a couple of studios, for the past few years, and I hope they don't lay off Bend and Media Molecule too, which is funny, because both those games, they're totally different games, but both those games kind of came out, and Dreams came out in beta, as a soft release, but you can still buy the game on the PlayStation Store. So both those games came out in April, which is weird. So, we'll see what happens, right? Like, we still have Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima and Death Stranding left, which are like the 3 big exclusives. So I'm wondering if we could see one of those games come out before the end of the year, because if not that, then Sony doesn't have any excuses, and it's just no one's gonna play Dreams, and no one liked Days Gone. So I think Sony, I don't want them to rush anything, but I'm really hoping that they can find a success in exclusive, because I'm a big PlayStation fan myself. I want a big PlayStation exclusive that I can play and enjoy. But other than that, yeah, that's today's video game news stories. I will say that a life update is that, unfortunately, I was not able to get that job. It's kind of confusing as to why, so I won't really go into it. But unfortunately, just stuff out of my hands. Like, it wasn't my fault. Just something happened that was just out of my hands, and it was stupid, but that's just how life is sometimes. I'm happy that I didn't spend any money, because when they offered me that job, I was like, oh, I'm going to buy my equipment now, and I'm going to rent a movie, I'm going to buy a game. But I was like, nah, I should wait until the ink dries perfectly to that. And I'm happy I did, because the ink did not dry. So, yeah, financial advice. But luckily, I was able to save up enough money for my last job to last me at least a little bit longer. But I'm still looking for a job. I applied to several places yesterday. I'm probably gonna spend tomorrow calling up some of these places. I did meet with one people who they were interested in hiring me. They're not giving me a lot of hours though, and it's one of those things that, like, they said about 25 hours. And I'm like, and like, to me it's not great, because I need more than that. But 25 hours is still better than 0 hours, right? So, if I have to resort to that job, hopefully I'll be able to find like a second job to take up on the weekends or something. Because it would be really disappointing if I only end up working 25 hours soon. But hey, you know what? It'll at least be something until I can find something else, right? So what else do I want to say? Because I just like talking. You know, like how long are we going? 16, 15 minutes. No, I was gonna watch this anyway. So I should just be. Oh, what is Evan Simon doing? Endgame's coming out this weekend. That's exciting. Ooh. I know what I want to talk about. Because it's just going everywhere. Talking about video games, not talking about movies. So, Endgame is coming out this weekend. And, you know, I just gotta be honest. Like, I'm so excited for this movie. You know, I'll probably go see it. You know, like, I probably have enough money. It's only like $10 for a ticket, so $10 isn't however few hundred it would cost me to do that other stuff. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll go see Endgame. I'll be happy to go see Endgame. I'm so out of focus. I got this stuff right here. I want to show my beard, right? So I'm like, oh, this is my beard. Check out my beard, fam. Check me out. But I can't. But no, Endgame is coming out this weekend. I'll probably go see it Monday because I want to avoid the kind of big theaters. You know. Also, I can go see a matinee that's cheaper kind of in the morning and just be done with it. So I'm excited about that noise. Not much excited about the kind of just... Man, this is the same as Thrones, man. Spoiler culture. Spoiler culture, man, which is just such a just... Man. Because, like, here's the thing, okay? Like, I'm not trying to say that anyone needs to live by my life or what I think is okay. You know, I'm not that type of person. Because for me personally, I'm not, you know, I don't care about spoilers. Like, I can't remember the last Marvel movies. I didn't look up the plotline on Wikipedia before I saw it, and it doesn't really affect me. It doesn't really bother me. It's more about me. The movie is more about, you know, how the directing goes and how the shots goes and how the acting and the writing and the sound and the music and all that good stuff, how that wraps together. And I always felt that that the experience of just reading a plot synopsis, like, that's just a part of the movie. The real movie is everything else. And, you know, like, you can't get that by reading a Wikipedia plot synopsis. And I'm not going to spoiler anything for anybody. And, like, I might actually do a review, but I won't. Well, I might do a spoiler review. But if I do a spoiler review, I'll make sure I say spoiler review. And I'll give you guys plenty of, you know, notice about that. Because, you know, I'm more interested in talking about the spoilers. But I won't talk about this with you. But to me, it's just, man, like, spoiler culture is just... People are so just crazy about this stuff, you know? Like, it's at the time, like, oh, don't you spoil this for me. And, like, I know people have different levels, and that's the hard thing. It's like, what constitutes a spoiler for one person might not constitute a spoiler for someone else. So someone might just say, I like the movie, and then some people might be like, oh, that's a spoiler. You said you enjoyed it. Or I could say, I really like character X in the movie, and someone would be like, oh, that says, unless, you know, a character we knew was in the movie, okay? Not some surprise or anything like that. But, like, that says character that you enjoyed them, and it's just, oh my gosh. Guys, okay? It's just a movie. And you have people who are just like, I gotta go throw away Twitter, and I gotta be off these people, and don't you spoil the movie. Don't even tell me you like the movie. Like, people like, oh, Collider I saw, and I love Collider, don't want to talk mess, but they put, like, freaking, like, don't spoil Avengers, like, pictures everywhere, and then they said you can't even say that you enjoyed the movie because how it made you feel. Like, fuck that shit. You know, like, no disrespect to anybody, but fuck that shit. Because spoiler culture is just so... I feel it ruins the film. Not spoiling itself ruins the film, but I feel like the culture around it ruins that film. Like, I'll be honest, the more time people say they don't want to be spoiled, don't you spoil it, then I'll spoil it for myself. Not to other people, but it's kind of like out of spite, I guess, but also, like, because I just don't care. And it's like, man, it's just... You know, I've been in trouble with this before for some other groups. right? I've been kicked out of a couple spoiler groups or discussion groups because it's just like there's a point when you can't even talk how you feel about the movie, right? Like you can't even talk about how you feel about things. Like, oh, I really enjoyed this, or something like super obvious, and say, oh yeah, this happened, and like it might seem really obvious for you, but other people are like, oh, that wasn't obvious for me. I'm just like, come on, guys, it's not a big deal. Oh man, I tell you what, like every time a Facebook group or a Discord group or whatever, whenever they try to like be super strict on spoilers, it just becomes so unwelcoming to me, honestly, because I'm just like, well, how do I even talk about this? Like, what do you even say, right? And that's just like, I'm here to talk about movies and games and anime, but like you don't even let me say really anything besides, oh, I liked it, I didn't like it. Everything else is just like, oh, you spoiled it, and that's annoying. That's very annoying. But whatever. About 20 minutes now. That's probably good for today's episode. I can't think of anything else. Thank you guys for watching. You probably didn't watch this video because no one watches these videos. But I'm having fun with this still. And I'm getting better at this, slowly but surely. So like I said, can't wait to get some editing software. Then I can probably start editing these, make longer form videos, create more of a plan. Right now I'm just like trying to get my foot on the road. I'm not trying to run yet. I'm just trying to stand up, essentially, right? Sometimes you have to crawl before you can run. So thank you for that. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about spoiler culture. And what do you think about Persona, Scramble, Persona, Scramble, the Phantom Strikers? Which I'll leave by saying that was a terrible name. And I really hope that in the West, they change it to just call it Persona Strikers. Persona 5 Strikers, or Persona 5 the Phantom Strikers. Because those are better names than Persona 5 Scramble. I normally don't make fun of names of games or movies, but that one I'm making fun of. Alright, peace out, guys. Thank you. Have a blessed day.